Things have been pretty quiet on the Vic Mignogna hate and defense fronts the last few days. I mean, the last time I had to come on here in regards to anything related, or one of the last couple of times I had to do it, it was to quell both sides from going at each other's throats over the whole Gabriel and the Guardians bit and the character of Nock, who's actually voiced by Matt Latner, not Vic Mignogna. But let's put that on the back burner for a minute. People know I cannot stand one Christopher Robin Sabat. But for those wondering, why can't I stand him? You may ask. Does it have to do with what he said to throw, what he did to throw Vic under the bus? Well, that's part of the reason, but not the entirety of it. One of the major reasons is, and if you were to talk to someone like Stephanie Nadolny, Tiffany Bowmer, Chuck Huber, Todd Abercorn, or Vic, just to name a few, they'll tell you that Chris Sabat is a straight up bully. Stephanie and Tiffany would especially tell you that he's a notorious player who will chase anything with a double X chromosome. Stephanie especially got bullied because of her alcoholism at the time, which led to Chris kicking her out of the company. Instead of doing anything to help her, he mocked her about it and ultimately threw her out. Now, of course, there's scuttlebutt about the whole double him being a player about chasing anything with a double X chromosome, but we all know about that little bit of scuttlebutt that he got a 16-year-old at a con pregnant, which led to him getting permabanned. Is it legit? I don't know. If it is, I'm not going to jump on it like I did with the Monica scuttlebutt of her getting banned from San Japan, which was proven false. If this one's legit, I'm not going to jump on it as enthusiastically because it's disgusting. And I'm not going to make the victim, whoever she may be, a bit of a trophy for myself. Not in this case. The casting couch is another example of his lecherous, depraved nature. And I don't even understand why Tabitha, his wife, even stays with him, even clings to him. Because as far as I'm concerned, he's not a good role model for their daughters, Hero and Vera. And before anyone asks, I looked it up on his Wikipedia file. Didn't ask him. I've never met the bastard, and I hope I never do. And of course, he can also be unbearably jealous. Case in point, one of the lesser reasons I believe he basically pushed for Vic to get fired. You're jealous of the fact that Fukugama chose Vic over him for the role of Broly. And of course, the other reason, if Vic got even higher in the ranks, he would have uncovered what Chris was doing with the casting couch and basically shut it down. Vic may have been within the circle, but he was not truly a part of the circle, so to speak. Anyone who wants to grill his ass at Collecticon Houston in a couple of weeks, be my guest. I'm not getting involved in this. Especially those who are like me who stick their necks out for Vic. Vic, who do go to this collector's convention in Houston, Texas in a couple of weeks. For those wondering which one I went to the Charlotte branch last month. Chris wasn't there, but Sean Schemmel was. I didn't bother talking to him. And personally, I'm actually going to be kind of glad when Dragon Ball Daima comes out and is dubbed. Because as I mentioned, for the majority of the show, no Schemmel or Sabat voicing Goku and Vegeta respectively. It's going to be done by Krista McGuire and Justin Briner respectively. For the most part. Not that I like Briner any more than I do either of those two anymore than I do Sabat. I don't even know why my oldest nephew even bothers with My Hero Academia, despite the fact what I told him about the majority of the VAs and how sick and corrupt they are involved in the show, and how twisted, corrupt, and morally depraved that they are. It bothers me. I know I can't truly influence what my sister's sons watch. Especially when you consider what my nephew watches, it means he's only just recently started getting into otaku culture. Emphasis on rather recently. On recently. That said, Sabat, I reject you as a voice actor. I reject you as a good father, husband, and you are a disgrace of a human being. At least in my point of view, you are. But what happened to Zeus when all was said and done? Well, it depends on the mythos. If you look at the traditional Greek literary canon, ultimately, he was overthrown by Jesus Christ when the Apostle Paul began his, when one of Paul's disciples and apostles began preaching in Greece. His disciples began preaching in Greece. But if you're a video game buff and a fan of God of War, you know that he was basically massacred by his own son, by one of his bastard sons, Kratos. Is Sabat gripped with fear and hides it behind a facade of calm and happy-go-luckiness? I say he does. The guy has a volatile temper far worse than what Vic could ever put together. Maybe not as bad on the level of Ron Toye's, but bad enough to where it's a significant point where you could call him out and he'd snap. This is why I prefer talking to VAs who are guys and gals like a Vic Mignogna, Caitlin Glass, Jayan Bosch, Wendy Powell, Cynthia Kranz, Kyle Abear, Kyle Phillips to a lesser extent, Todd Habercorn, John Swayze, and so forth. People like that are the kind of VAs I want to talk to and meet. Not and Chuck Huber, not treacherous scumbags who will do anything to advance their own positions and cover it up for the sake of maintaining that status. I stand with Vic now, then, and forever. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's 228 signing out. Bye. Good night. Bang.